Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing really well. I'm back today to preview the championship again. Now, in the last video, I talked about my predictions for where I think each team will finish in the championship. In this video, I'm going to talk about who I think are going to be some of the best players in the championship this season. So if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe and leave in the comments below who you think are going to be the standout players in the championship this season. I'm going to start off by talking about some of the players that I think will do really well and be consistent and potentially finish in the championship team of the season. So starting in goal, for me, there's only really one standout goalkeeper at the moment, and that's Stefan, who is at Middlesbrough but on loan from Manchester City. And consistently in his whole career, he's performed very well, particularly when he's been at Man City. Apart from the time where he made a massive mistake at Wembley in the final, I believe it was the League Cup or the FA Cup. Aside from that, he's been a really consistent performer when he's played for Manchester City, and I think he's just going to be so dominant for Middlesbrough and help them keep loads of clean sheets. I also think, speaking of Middlesbrough, I think Paddy Mcnair is going to do very well at Middlesbrough, with the fact that he plays for a Chris Wilder team and the way that Chris Wilder likes his centre-backs to push up the pitch. I can definitely see McNair getting up the pitch, helping Middlesbrough break down those teams that are going to sit in a low block and then contribute to a few goals and assists. So I can definitely see Paddy McNair having a very good season for Middlesbrough. Other defenders that I think could be really good in the Championship this season, Camara for Watford. When he came to Watford in January, he was one of their best players, and I think that's going to continue in the Championship this season. And with the fact that he's going to have more licence to get forward for Watford, I can see him getting a few goals and assists. And then other defenders as well, I think Ryan Giles is going to be really good for Middlesbrough, and Isaiah Jones. So I've kind of mentioned a lot of Middlesbrough players. I think they're just going to keep a lot of clean sheets and be a very consistent team. In terms of players who I think could potentially just have really consistent seasons, I mean, you've got Scott Twine, who I think is an excellent signing for Burnley, and I can definitely see him getting a lot of goals and assists. Joel Peru for Swansea is excellent in his debut season last season, and I definitely think he'll get at least 15 goals, contributions and assists, if not 20 or even 25. And then for players that are maybe already ridiculously too good for the Championship, obviously if the likes of Sarr and Dennis and Tavernier and then even Cornet and McNeil, if they all stay in the Championship, they'll all do very, very well. But I don't think all of them will stay. I think at least 2 or 3 of them will move on before the end of the transfer window, which is early September time, and I'm recording this now at the end of July. Chris Willock, when he played for QPR, was very, very good, but he at times got injured last season. So if he can stay fully fit, I think he's going to have a wonderful season for QPR. And João Pedro and Teemu Pukki are both excellent players, and I think both of them could definitely be in the running for Golden Boot if they both stay injury-free and actually stay in the Championship. But I do think maybe someone like Pukki and Chris Willock and Scott Twine are more likely going to be playing in the Championship this season than someone like João Pedro. In terms of young player of the season, first of all, I think the criteria should change slightly, because you've got talented teenagers and 19, 20-year-olds who are already good enough for the Championship or even higher. So I think the criteria should change from under 23s to maybe 20 and under. But anyway, João Pedro, of course, I think he should be in the running for this, surely. I definitely think he's going to have a good season for Watford if he stays at Watford. Omar Bamadeli at Norwich, I think will be a really, really good performer. He's only 20 years old, but he's very, very tall, strong and quick. So I definitely think if he gets game time for Norwich, he'll be very good for them. And then you've also got Rowe and Adam Eder of Norwich, both very good young players as well. I definitely think both of them will have good seasons, particularly Adam Eder. Then, of course, I mentioned earlier Scott Twine. I think he'll be in the running for Young Player of the Season for sure. And then if McNeil stays in the Championship, I'm sure he'll do very well. But then you've got Semenyo, who was really good for Bristol City, particularly towards the second half of last season. And I definitely think that will continue, and he'll have his best season yet. With Cardiff, they've got so many talented young players, especially from the academy. You've got Bangan, Denham, and then you've got Eli King and Ruben Colwell. And from the outside looking in, I think Colwell is the most exciting out of all the young Cardiff players. But like I said, they've got so many talented young Cardiff players in the squads that Steve Morison has to choose from. And I definitely can see maybe Colwell and Denham being in the running for Young Player of the Season if Cardiff are consistent and perform very well. And then as well, you've got Iliman and Dyer. I think he's going to have a very good season for Sheffield United. Similar to Semenyo, towards the second half of last season, he was very good. And I think that will continue to this season, and he'll have his best season yet. So I think he can be Young Player of the Season, or even perhaps Player of the Season. So I've mentioned a few names in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and let me know who you think will be potentially Player of the Season, Young Player of the Season, and potentially what the Championship team of the season might look like before the season kicks off this week. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Thank you very much.